What's going on, everybody? Doc from Average Gamer Guys back yet again. More Rocket League action, and today, as always, is your friendly reminder talking about what's going on in the Rocket League community and on the esports side of things. So, as always, we're going to cover the schedule for this weekend. We've got more RLCS action. This is actually going to be a really interesting weekend. We have the promotion tournament going on. So what the promotion tournament is, if you're not familiar, is a tournament where they take the top two RLRS teams and pit them in each region against the bottom two RLCS teams, taking two winners from each region and actually allowing them to have the chance for those teams in the RLRS to actually make it into RLCS league play next year, essentially punching their ticket, which is really, really cool. So we're going to go over the schedule for that. Fan rewards will be live for this weekend, so you get another perfect chance before the final championships for RLCS this season. One more final chance before those matches to go out and actually get some fan rewards. So pretty excited. So we'll jump into the 2 days of action, and then I'm also going to just cover a little bit to give a little bit of knowledge and some highlights, I guess, of the Collegiate Rocket League series, which is also going on right now. And I kind of got tuned in just a little bit. I've seen some snapshots and some of the quick highlights and plays from this past week, and some of the plays have been pretty good. And this is pretty expansive, and one of those other areas I just want to talk about real quick at the end of the video. Just to kind of cover, because I wasn't super aware. I knew this was a thing. I knew that they had this side of Rocket League esports going on, but I didn't really realize until watching this weekend just a little bit how expansive it was. So I won't cover it in super detail, but I will give you guys a little bit of a kind of a rundown and a breakdown what it is. And if you guys enjoy it, let me know, because we would love to cover that as well as part of the kind of the Rocket League news that we like to do each week. So without further ado, let's get into the schedule for this week. So as always, we get Saturday and Sunday play. Saturday play is going to be from the North America side, obviously again between RLCS and RLRS teams. We have this kicking off at 12 p.m. Pacific, very standard times as we've seen for all of Rocket League this season. For the RLCS, so 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, kicking off with our first match between Out of Style and Allegiance. From there, we go and we fast forward to 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, where we have Fibian playing the Renegades. So essentially how this promotion tournament is going to work, again, it pits an RLRS team against an RLCS team. And essentially what they're going to do is they're going to do a winner's bracket, loser's bracket, and two teams out of this at the end of the day are going to be the ones that essentially either keep their ticket to RLCS Season 5 next season, or make the jump up from RLRS and get the chance to play in RLCS next season. So it's really, really cool. So up on screen again, you're seeing it. The rest of the matches are obviously to be determined, because they got to figure out who's going to make it to those games. So they'll take the winner of each. Obviously, the winner of each of the first two matches will play for essentially the winner's bracket side of things, and then the winner of that match, that's going to be your 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern match. The winner of that match is going to move on, and they will progress forward into RLCS, and then we'll also have, starting at the 2 p.m. slot and then finishing with the 4 p.m. Pacific slot, the losers side of the house, the loser bracket side of the house, where they will play matches as well to determine essentially a double elimination to determine who from that side will make it through as well. So Saturday, really quick wrap up again, starts at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, and we'll finish off with the final match starting 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be a good day of Rocket League. Again, you've got the top two RLRS teams from the North America region, the top team being Fibian, going up against Renegades, so that should be a good match to watch. They've been playing pretty well throughout RLRS, so it'll be good. And then really out of style playing Allegiance, I think really anything can kind of happen there. Again, you've got the second-ranked RLRS team, which goes to say, they were on the cusp of making RLCS, so they can't be that bad. Allegiance didn't obviously have the best of the tournament that they would have liked and throughout the season. So these are going to be some good matches. You're going to see some teams really playing their all, really giving their best. So it should make for some pretty good Saturday action of Rocket League. If we hop over, we'll take a look at Sunday again as usual. This is the European side. And a very similar setup that we always see. These will kick off at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 Eastern. Final match rolling out at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, and an hour delay between, or not an hour delay, but an hour between each match. We have Team Envy kicking off against the Juicy Kids for the first match of the day, and then we have Fnatic playing off against Team Secret for the second match of the day. That second match of the day, I think, is going to be one of the best ones to watch, obviously, before getting into the kind of the championships side of things here, because Fnatic is also your number one team coming in from the European side. So it's going to be really interesting. Again, I think there's going to be, like I said before, there's just going to be some great Rocket League being played here. I think you're going to see Fnatic really try to prove themselves, and they've had just a dominating performance in RLRS this year. So I really think they're going to come out the gates. They're going to come swinging, and they're going to try and obviously punch their ticket for Season 5 of RLCS when that rolls around next year. So really looking forward to it. Again, we'll have 5 total matches throughout the day. Very similar setup to Saturday, where you have your losers bracket being the third match of the day, starting that off. Then you get your championship game after that, and then you finish up with the final match for the losers bracket. And again, 2 teams moving on, either keeping their spot on RLCS or punching their ticket and bumping up. Now, interestingly enough, the RLCS team that does lose actually will get moved back into RLRS, and they will still be able to compete there. So it's kind of just swapping roles, but it's pretty interesting. I think this is a great way. I think this really promotes the RLRS, which I think is a really smart thing to do, and I really do like that. I think that was a really smart play by Rocket League, just to get more teams into the mix. We're going to get more action. We're going to see more teams. Obviously, you see more consistent coverage from Rocket League and from those different 2 different, I guess, kind of divisions of the esports side of it, which is pretty cool. But this promotion tournament, I think, just I can't be mad about fan rewards, and I think it's a great way to say, hey, if you didn't have a good qualifying round for RLCS, this is really your chance at this point to kind of prove yourselves, or even some of the RLCS teams to say, hey, we might not have had such a good season, but we're definitely one of the top teams in the country and in the world that can compete at Rocket League. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, good matches. You got fan rewards going on all weekend, so make sure hop over. As usual, it's going to be on their Rocket League's official Twitch page. We'll put some links and stuff for the full schedule and all that down in the description below, so be sure to check that out. So with that, I kind of just want to hop over and talk about, like I said at the beginning of the video, spend just a minute or two talking about Collegiate Rocket League. So this is a series which sets up very similar to kind of actually RLCS. They have seasons going on. It's actually going on right now. They have conference qualifiers. Then 8 universities are going to, from each regional conference, remain right now. That's what they've been through. They're going to do a 4-week series where they're going to compete in a round-robin format. Again, very much like RLCS, in order to determine seed for conference playoffs. And then from there, they're going to move through and crown a champion for each region. There's actually $50,000 in scholarships available for this. There's 32 qualifying teams, and 248 colleges actually participated in this, which I think is really, really awesome. That's just a huge amount. I mean, that's just huge when you think about it. Now, obviously, there's tons of universities across the country, but when you really think about how much esports is grasping on and becoming mainstream, Rocket League to be able to get in the ground floor and to get in at the college level is really smart, because I think that's where you're going to see a lot of your future growth. And obviously players on these teams are going to be the ones that are looked at almost essentially to start kind of getting drafted up into those RLCS teams, which I would kind of, which you can consider being the pros. So really, really interesting. There's 4 conferences: the North Conference, the South Conference, East and West Conference, and I'm just going to read through just a few of the teams that made it through. So Indiana University has a team. Illinois has a team. You got Iowa State. You've got Texas A&M in the Southern Conference, as well as Louisiana State. You've got Auburn that has a team, as well as the University of Texas and Georgia Tech. You've got North Carolina as well in that conference. In the Eastern Conference, you've got University of Maryland and Pennsylvania State. You've got Robert Morris, which I know some of us have heard about, as well as Drexel University in the East Conference. And then in the West Conference, you've got University of Arizona, University of Utah, a bunch of different colleges along California, and then Arizona State. So some pretty big name universities getting into this as well, putting teams up and fielding it, which again, I just can't stress enough. That's super cool. I think this is really, really great. And like I was saying, there were some great plays that I've been seeing over the last couple days, watching a little bit, seeing some of the highlights on Twitter of just what gets posted and how some of the games have unfolded. So definitely, if you're interested, take a look. We will post in the description below some of the schedule and some of the details. You guys can check this out. It goes on, I think, throughout the week, and as it gears up towards the weekend, they're playing matches. And like I said, if you're really into, like we are, if you're really into Rocket League, this is another good chance to go out and see some pretty good Rocket League play. And just see some good matches going on. There are not fan rewards tied to these, sadly, but I think maybe hopefully in the future championships or something like that, maybe they can move forward and do that. But really, really, really cool just to see the big name universities getting involved too, and fielding these teams. So something we'll keep an eye on. If you guys are interested for more details or want us to cover it more, please do let me know. Let us know down below. We really do like to cover Rocket League news. We obviously love to cover Rocket League and the professional side of things. And I think the collegiate thing, again, isn't something that, it's something that we talked about a little bit but haven't really covered too much. And I think there's room for us to talk about it, and there's really room for us to kind of expand on it and maybe do some analysis as well. So if you guys are interested, please do let me know. As always, Doc from Average Gamer, guys, have a great weekend with Halloween coming up. The Haunted Hollows event is still rolling through, so you've got some time for that. So get out, get some candy corn, get some crates, get some cool items, and beyond that, just have some fun, play some Rocket League, and as always, if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed this video, please do subscribe. It really does help us out. Throw a like and a comment down below. Especially let us know if you do want us to cover the collegiate Rocket League side of things as well. We would love to hear from you guys to be able to do that if you're interested. And yeah, just Doc from Average Gamer, guys. As always, thank you so very much for watching, spending a few minutes of your day with me, and we'll catch you in the next one.